Isabel was a woman of serene beauty and lively intelligence. Although she had never attended school, she had worked since she was young as a cook on large properties, preparing meals that warmed the body and the heart of those who tasted them. Her soft smile hid a strength that few perceived. She believed that life reserved a simple but dignified path for her, even with the difficulties. She woke up early every day, lit the wood stove, and transformed few ingredients into dishes full of flavor and affection. Many times, while stirring the pots, she dreamed of a family that would value her for what she was, a hard-working, honest woman capable of loving deeply. She met the foreman of a large farm during a harvest period. He was a man of firm words and sweet promises. Isabel, with an open heart, surrendered to the dream of forming a family. He praised her food, her dedication, and her beauty, making her feel, for the first time in a long time, that someone truly saw her. In the stolen moments between the hard work, he spoke of a future together, of a simple house and children running in the yard. Isabel allowed herself to believe, keeping in her chest a fragile hope, like a flower in the desert. When she discovered she was expecting a child, she told him full of hope. His face changed instantly. The rejection was cruel and immediate. "A woman with another man's child is no good for me." The pain of that conversation cut like a sharp knife. He turned his back without further words, leaving her alone with the weight of the news and the fear of tomorrow. Isabel spent entire nights crying in silence, feeling her body change while her heart broke. The other people on the farm began to murmur, looking at her with judgment and pity, as if she carried an invisible mark of shame. Days after the birth of the girl, he sent the two of them away from the property without looking back. Lita Lana was born with big and curious eyes, but she brought a deep silence. She didn't speak to anyone, only to her mother, in soft whispers when they were alone. Isabel carried her daughter in her arms along the dirt roads, sleeping in makeshift shelters, facing hunger and looks of pity. The pain was constant. Many times, at dusk, when the cold tightened and hunger gripped both their stomachs, Isabel would sit by the side of the road, rocking Anna and singing old songs softly to calm her daughter's silent crying. "Why is the world so hard on those who just want to love?" she thought, with tears running down her tired face. "No one else will want me anymore," she thought, wiping away tears while rocking Anna. "I am a marked woman, and my daughter carries my silence." Every door that closed brought a new wound. On one farm, they stayed only 3 days before being sent away, because the girl did not respond to the calls of the other children. On another, Isabel cooked from dawn to dusk, but upon discovering her situation, the owner dismissed her without payment, claiming he didn't want problems on the property. Physical exhaustion mixed with emotional pain, and Isabel felt her strength diminishing with each rejection, but her love for her daughter kept her standing. Suffering shaped the days. Isabel cooked for small farms in exchange for a plate of food and a corner to sleep. She saw other united families and felt her chest tighten. She watched mothers with their children, laughing loudly, fathers carrying the children on their shoulders, and this brought her a deep longing for something she had never fully had. But her love for her daughter was greater than any pain. She promised softly, "We will find a place where your silence is welcomed, my love." Those words, repeated like a prayer, were what sustained her on the darkest nights, when doubt threatened to swallow her. The years passed between rejections and walks. Isabel and Anna wandered from farm to farm. The girl was already 5 years old and remained silent with the world. Only in her mother's arms did she release timid words full of affection. Isabel felt exhausted, but she never gave up. Her intelligence shone in the meals she prepared, simple seasonings that transformed common ingredients into banquets, and in the way she observed people, understanding their pains without needing many words. Many nights, after a full day working under the hot sun or light rain, Isabel would lie down next to her daughter and stroke her hair, whispering promises of better days. The tiredness weighed on her shoulders, but the sparkle of determination in her eyes never faded. In each new property, hope was reborn for a brief moment, only to be destroyed again. On one farm, Isabel impressed everyone with her skill in the kitchen, creating dishes that made the workers praise her talent. However, When they learned about her silent daughter and her past, the looks changed, and the dismissal soon came. On another occasion, during a difficult harvest, she worked tirelessly, helping even with tasks beyond cooking. But the fear of the unknown made the owner send them away with only a piece of bread for the journey. Isabel felt her heart tighten when she saw Aina curled up, observing the world with those big eyes full of a sadness that no child should carry. Even so, she made an effort to smile, singing softly to her daughter as they walked, turning pain into small lessons of resilience. One rainy afternoon, after being dismissed from another property, they arrived at the gates of It was a vast, well-kept land with the smell of fertile soil and freshly baked bread. Manuel Oliveira, the owner, was a widower with a generous heart, tall, with hands calloused by honest work. He loved children like few others. He had lost his wife years before and raised his 2 young children alone, always dreaming of finding a companion who understood the value of a united family. He watched his children playing in the yard and felt a deep emptiness, desiring a female presence that would bring warmth and understanding to the home. But time passed, and he could not find someone who truly loved his children and the simple country life. Many said he was too demanding, but Manuel only waited for someone with a heart as big as his. Isabel asked for work as a cook with a tired but firm voice. Manuel saw the thin woman with a child clinging to her skirt and felt something move inside him. A mixture of compassion and a silent recognition. Stay, he said simply. There is always room for those who need it. Those words were like a balm for Isabel's wounded soul. In the first days, Anna hid behind her mother. She did not respond to the greetings of the other children on the farm. Manuel noticed everything. Instead of judging, he observed with patience. He saw Isabel's dedication in the kitchen, the way she taught Anna to knead dough with her little hands, and how, even when tired, she told stories softly to calm her daughter at night. He began to talk with Isabel after dinner, respectfully, about life, work, and dreams. Little by little, he shared small stories of his own loss, showing that he also knew the pain of loneliness. Isabel, for the first time in years, felt seen, not as a marked woman, but as someone valuable. Manuel did not care about her humble past or Ina's silence. He just said, "The heart speaks louder than words." In those quiet moments, while the sun set behind the hills, Isabel allowed a small flame of hope to light up again in her chest. Life on Fazenda Oliveira transformed slowly. Manuel spent afternoons with Ana, showing her the animals, planting seedlings together. He did not force conversations. He only offered constant presence and sincere affection. He taught her with patience to take care of the chickens, to pick ripe fruits, and to feel the earth between her fingers, always respecting her rhythm. Isabel watched from afar, with her chest full of gratitude and an old fear that everything could disappear. Little by little, the farm's routine brought a peace they had never known. The smell of bread baking, the sound of birds at dawn, and the distant laughter of the other children. One day, while watering a vegetable garden, Anna let go of her mother's hand and, for the first time, spoke softly to Manuel. The flower grew. It was a simple moment, but one that filled the farm with tears of joy. Manuel stood still, with moist eyes, and replied in a choked voice, "Yes, my little one, it grew strong, just as you will grow." That instant marked the beginning of healing. Isabel ran to hug them, feeling that her heart, so hurt, had finally found shelter. Isabel watched everything with her heart overflowing. The love grew slowly, built in gestures. Manuel defending Isabel when someone questioned her origin. The nights when he helped put Ana to sleep. The deep conversations where she revealed her intelligence and he shared his past pains. Many times, after work, they sat on the porch and talked about forgotten dreams. Isabel told how she had learned alone to combine seasonings and to read the sky to predict the weather, impressing Manuel with her practical wisdom. He, in turn, opened his heart about the longing for his wife and the fear of raising his children alone. There was no rush. There was fidelity and respect, in patience and in the daily choice to build together. Every gesture from Manuel made Isabel feel that she was loved entirely. Wheat, air passed her marks, and her silent strength. The union was consolidated. Manuel proposed to Isabel on a quiet afternoon, with Anna holding a bouquet of wildflowers. "I want you to forever," he said. "I don't look for perfection, I look for heart." Isabel accepted, crying with happiness. For the first time, she felt that she was desired entirely with her past, her silent daughter, and her strength. The ceremony was simple, only with the people from the farm, full of emotion and tears of joy. Anna, by their side, smiled shyly, as if she understood that they had finally found a true home. Anna, little by little, began to speak more. The silence that was once pain became a bridge to a deep love. She now played with her adoptive siblings, told small stories to her mother at night, and ran freely around the yard. The family united. Laughter at the big table, games in the yard at dusk, nights of stories around the stove, where Isabel prepared sweets and Manuel told tales from the countryside. Suffering gave way to true happiness, built on fidelity and welcoming. Together, they faced the difficulties of everyday life with unity, supporting each other and celebrating every small victory. This story reminds us that the true value of a person is not in titles, formal education, or a perfect past, but in the strength of the heart, in the intelligence of the soul, and in the ability to love despite the wounds. Many times we carry silences that only patient love can transform into voice. It is never too late to start over when we find someone who chooses to stay, respect, and build. True fidelity and union heal, welcome, and transform lives. If you were moved by the story of Isabel, Anna, and Manuel, subscribe to the channel to receive more emotional stories like this one. Leave your comment below. Which moment touched your heart the most? Share with those who need a message of hope. Thank you for joining us.